Okay, so now there's been a second assassination attempt on Donald Trump, and I'm gonna call BS right now for a couple of reasons that should be very apparent to most people who are awake in the United States of America, but in the event that it is not, I'm here to tell you why. Number one, there's something called security. The president was already supposedly, allegedly, I don't know whatever happened to that, right? To the shooter, to anything else, but supposedly he was already, there was already an attempt on his life before he got back into office. Not sure what happened with that, but his ear miraculously healed really quickly and a whole bunch of other questionable stuff happened. And you would think, even if that had not happened, there would have been some major security around Donald Trump, right? That security would have been doubled if there had already been an attempt on his life beforehand. So, am I supposed to sit here and believe, according to CNN, that somebody somehow got into this event with a weapon and they weren't checked by by the security? There's nobody checking for weapons and somehow a gun got in there. Number one, that's straight off BS. Number two, this is the same hotel where President Ronald Reagan's life was also threatened by a shooter. There was an attempt on his life, of Ronald Reagan's life, at the same hotel. So what a coincidence. I don't know how stupid they think we are. Apparently we're extremely stupid if we're meant to believe this crap. Why would they say this, Nadia? Why are you being like that? Why can't you understand that this is serious? Because his numbers are down. His numbers are way down. And not just even his own party, his own MAGA people. So he's clearly failing on so many fronts. And in my opinion, it is beyond obvious what is happening here is just a way to get everyone to rally behind him somehow. If this had been, I can hear you already. Some of you are going to say, oh no, this is Israel. Israel's trying to take him out. If they were trying to take him out and they're in this closed environment, they would have. Think about it. They would have taken him out. The fact that he survived it and is about to give a press conference, how many of these do we have to watch before we start putting things together, right? I call BS. You guys tell me in the comments what you think. I'm gonna watch his press conference, I guess, and I'll get back to you with my thoughts on that. Okay, so I just watched Trump's presser and a couple of things stood out. First of all, I'm amazed at how many reporters kept asking really softball questions and also questions that set Trump up to say things about what a courageous leader he is. It was like they were all given a script. Everybody there was asking basically leading questions so that Trump could answer with some type of, I'm the greatest president ever. It takes a lot of courage to be here. Something that he said. Another thing, they were very calm and relaxed, in my opinion, for people that had just lived through an assassination attempt. One of the things that Trump said is that they don't go after you unless you're making an impact, and I'm very honored by that. He also said some of our greatest presidents were assassinated. I'm very honored by that. See, this is what I'm saying, that it is all BS. And all of these media left, right, or he goes against this, outfit and he says, oh, you guys have the worst reporters and this, that. It's all BS because at the end of the day, they are going to say exactly what they are paid to say. They're going to ask the questions that they are being paid to ask. And in this specific case, in my opinion, they set Trump up so that he could show off and just say what a great president he is over and over again, which he did many times. He said it's not a particularly secure building. That's very interesting. Why would you have the correspondence dinner at a building that is not secure unless that's exactly what you wanted? An unsecure building so that this could even take place. This reminds me so much of the Charlie Kirk situation because it was the same thing. Oh, we didn't have drones. Why not? We didn't have security on the rooftops. Why not? That's the question here as well. How is it that this guy, 31-year-old, let me just, before I forget anything, 31-year-old Caltech grad, travels from California to DC with, quote, multiple weapons, and he gets in. And not only that, but according to Trump, the guy ran 50 yards to get closer. How was he even in that vicinity? How did anybody let him in? Trump said, oh, so grateful for the Secret Service. Yeah, sure, but what about security? How did this guy get in, man? That's just the basic question that is going to be on everyone's mind. And there's no real answer to this as of yet. I don't know what they possibly will come up with tomorrow or in the coming days, but I don't see how they can say anything that would make us go oh yeah, that totally makes sense. He said that the event was a, quote, record-setting group of people, again, without security. He's a sick person, a very, very sick person. Yes, we are all sick. We're all sick and tired, in case you haven't noticed. We'll do it again in 30 days. Are you crazy? Whoever goes to this, if they actually do it again in 30 days, why would anybody go? You'd have to be out of your mind to go. If they couldn't do it right the first time, what makes you think they're going to do it right the second time, or what's going to happen with all that? He says, I fought like hell to stay. I wanted to keep it going. I didn't want these crazy people to dictate how we live our lives. Really? You wanted to stay? You wanted to continue with the event? Am I supposed to believe that this was a serious thing? Because I have a very hard time believing that it was an actual assassination attempt that happened if you still wanted to continue as if nothing happened. I would think that you would be worried, if not about yourself, then at least about the correspondents there, the other people there, and you'd want to make sure that nothing else happened, especially if you don't know if this person is working by themselves or with others, or if there's something even worse about to happen. I would imagine that you would want everything to be evacuated and everybody to be safe and everyone to go home. But apparently, Trump was so confident that he fought like hell to stay. That's a quote. And apparently he saw nothing wrong with them continuing the night. It was just not his choice. And they shut it down. All right, so Todd Blanche gets up there with the regular, boilerplate accolades to law enforcement. It's the same thing we hear all the time. It's so cookie cutter at this point, it's ridiculous. He said that, quote, justice will be served. Cool, start with the Epstein files, and then maybe we'll believe you. Kash Patel got up there, more vapid accolades. He was talking a mile a minute. It was ridiculous. I don't know what he was on, but it looked like he was on something. That's just my opinion. And also, yeah, that's real rich coming from a guy who totally dropped the ball on the Charlie Kirk case. So it was from quite far away. So Trump says that Melania, they all heard the noise and he thought it was a tray, and Melania said that's a bad noise, and it was from now 20 yards away. This whole thing is very, very confusing, but I wrote this down because I feel, because of the way things have worked out in the past, that these details will get somehow massaged and finessed in the coming days, and I just wanted to make sure that I kept some type of record of what they actually said. Why do you think, this is another question, why do you think this keeps happening to you? So that Trump could say, because I'm so wonderful and I'm doing so much. All the questions were like this. Then he said the room was very secure. Dude, make up your mind. Obviously it wasn't very secure. So give me a break. So then Caitlin Collins of CNN, before Trump got up there and said anything to the press, she had mentioned that she was surprised because it had taken Secret Service a couple of minutes to get Trump off the stage. And she was not the only reporter who said that. Yeah, it took a few minutes for Secret Service to get Trump off the stage. But then when he was questioned about it, he just outright said, no, that didn't happen. No, they acted quickly. So I guess everybody who was actually there and saw it happen has to now disbelieve their own eyes and just go with whatever Trump is saying, that it actually happened quickly. This is like gaslighting all the time. The gaslighting, I'm telling you guys, is so heavy in this administration. It is just a lot. How was the gun brought in? How did that guy get in there? He said he has so much experience with assassination attempts now, and he pats himself on the back for that. Last time this happened, someone lost their life. At the very least, why wouldn't you want the people around you to be safe, like your wife or cabinet members or other correspondents that are there to get awards? Why wouldn't you want them to be safe? I don't get it. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. Like I said, my opinion, I call BS, I call a false flag. I call that this is just an attempt to rally up his 25, whoever's left, his 25 MAGA supporters, rally them up so that he doesn't completely lose his base. I think this just made things worse. I hope you guys can see through this. If I'm wrong, I will admit it. I will be happy to admit it. These are just my first impressions of everything, considering everything that we've already gone through. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments and see you on the next vid.